Hey everybody, welcome again to the training, and today's topic is going to be on how to fit Beachbody into your already busy life. How to make a successful business when you're feeling like perhaps you don't have a lot of time to give, or you work a full-time job, or you're a busy stay-at-home mom, or whatever the case may be. I'm here to share a little bit about my story and give you some tips that has helped me along the way and some things that I still already do in my business today. So I am a 2-star diamond coach. I have 3 lifetime diamonds, meaning I've helped 3 people get to diamond, and I have a pretty decent sized team, few business builders along the way. So very busy with my team, and I've been able to do this with a full-time job, working as a pharmaceutical clinical scientist, running clinical trials. That's my full-time day job. And I have 2 very active little boys with lots of friends, play dates, and sports activities, and school stuff, and you name it, and the household to run, and the whole 9 yards, right? So very, very busy schedule here. But I've been a coach for 5 years now, so I didn't start off, running. I started off as a discount coach, wanting to get on my health and fitness journey. And many of you guys are probably in that boat or have coaches that are in that situation, and that's fine. Most important thing to know when you start wanting to work the business is you have to know why you want to work the business. And we've already talked a little bit about your why and telling your Beachbody story and understanding your purpose for being here and for wanting to help other people along the way, because that, number one, is going to drive you when you're feeling so overwhelmed and like, what am I doing? I have so much on my plate. That is going to drive you. So number one, just knowing your why and your purpose for being here and making sure that this is really what you want to be doing and it's a good fit, because you have to really want to make this work It doesn't just all happen naturally and easy. You do have to work it just like you do your job. The second thing is that you really have to make time for working on you, because right now you are the number one priority. And if you're not working with the Beachbody workouts and drinking your Shakeology and being a product of the product, that is the easiest, most natural way to share the business, is just sharing your own journey. So again, we've talked about telling your Beachbody story. Making time for you is priority. So that's the first thing I want you to think about with your schedule. I want you to think about when is the best time for you to get your workout in and make that your number one priority. Your number 2 priority, I would say, is to get involved in trainings, anything you can get your hands on. So congratulations for being here in this new coach training, and any team calls you can get your hands on, because you don't want to learn this alone, right? You're not in this alone. We have a ginormous team of coaches, and it's been done before, it's been created before, it's been thought of before, and it's being taught on team calls and in past team calls and on national wake-up calls. So as much as you can, get your hands on that training and watch videos in your spare time. Some tricks for doing that is just wearing your earbuds when you're, going for a walk or folding laundry or making dinner. Have your iPad next to you or your iPod or your computer, and take advantage of multitasking and listening to calls and personal development while you're doing other chores in the house. Number 4, multitasking. I just kind of touched on that. I have become excellent at multitasking. I do a lot in the car, not while I'm driving, unless I'm just listening to a podcast or an audio. There's many podcasts out there to listen to along the way. But while I'm driving my kids somewhere and I'm at a baseball game, sitting there watching them, I may go to the car and get a few things done, or I may sit in the bleachers and be getting a few things done. You can get posts scheduled right from your phone. You can reply to emails right from your phone. You can, send replies back to posts right from your phone. So there's a lot you can do while you're out and about. even when I come out of the grocery store, I take a moment to just maybe do one or two things before I start heading home and on to the next thing. So I have really mastered multitasking, and you have to just train your mind to think that way. Think about the time that you have and try to get things done when you can with the time you have. Because if you wait until you have like a big chunk of time, that big chunk of time sometimes never happens for us. You know that. So take advantage of doing things when you can. Number 5 is use your extra time to be productive and not be wasteful. So in the beginning of coaching, I used to do a lot of scrolling. I'd get sucked into Instagram or Facebook and just, doing silly things. I never really was a game person, playing those Facebook games and those question games and all that stuff, but some people can. Some people do enjoy it, but it's a waste. It's a waste of your time right now when you're so limited with time. You have to be really careful about what you're using your extra time and your downtime for. So number 6 is related to sacrificing. And in the beginning, when you are learning so much and there's so much going on, you do have to make a little bit of a sacrifice, whether that means getting up a little bit earlier or going to bed a little bit later to get your work done, or, taking away from some TV time. I mean, I never watch the TV anymore. We've downsized our TV, our cable package, but I use Netflix when I have the time. So, you have to make some sacrifices along the way, but it all comes back to you in the end, I promise. So just be productive with your extra downtime and think to yourself, could I be doing something? Even if you're not sure what you should be doing as a new coach, there's always stuff to listen to and to learn. So there's always past team training calls or podcasts or things that you could be doing with your extra time to learn and grow and understand the business better. Number 7, set aside some working hours for you and set aside some not working hours for you. That's also just as important as setting aside working hours, because for me, every night when the kids go to bed, I put a good chunk of time into the business. I have to, because that's really, that's the only time I can sit down with a chunk of time, like a good hour and a half worth. Every other time is usually pieced together throughout the day. So try to find a time in the day where you have, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, a good chunk of time where you can have uninterrupted work time. And then make sure you understand when your not work time is going to be. So for me, Friday nights or Saturday nights, that's family time. I can get a lot done Saturday morning early when the kids are playing or sleeping in or outside or whatever. I can get a good chunk of time in then, but come nighttime, it's family time. So decide when your work time's going to be and when your not work time's going to be, and then you can let your family know that too. Number 8 actually has to do with that. Letting your people know that this is important to you. When I first started, I literally sat my husband down and my kids down, and they were much smaller then, and I said, I am working on this new business. I'm going to try to set work hours. I'm going to work, after I put you guys to bed for a good hour, but here's when I'm not going to work. I'm not going to do much weekend time, especially in the evenings, and that's dedicated to you guys. And if they know that and you know that, then it goes much smoother. So make sure you definitely set that time up and then share it with your family, your loved ones, people you're living with, things like that, because then everybody's on the same page and they don't think you're just fooling around on Facebook, which many times husbands and spouses and wives and children think you're doing that in the beginning. They think you're just fooling around on social media, when in fact you're connecting with people, you're chatting with people about challenge groups, challenge packs. So make sure they understand what you do as a coach and that you're working to build a business. And although you might not, they might not see and you might not see the income right away, but that's what you're working on building. So you're not just fooling around. And then the last thing I want to share, I want to make this only a 10-minute video. Sorry to take up so much time, but try to stay as organized as possible. I have a notebook for every month practically, where I'm, I write at the top the month and I'm filling it out. It's team calls, it's my goals, it's, people I'm connecting with, people I have to follow up with, who wants to be in the challenge groups, who is a coach prospect. And, I'm a notebook person, so I have tons of notebooks back here that are just filled with Beachbody, as well as over on my wall, a little chalkboard thing where I can list out names and goals and things like that. So figure out a system that works for you, whether it be a notebook or a whiteboard or a chalkboard, and try to stay as organized as possible. Take lots and lots of notes, okay, and just own it. This is your business, and you can totally do it, even with a full-time job, even with a family, even being super, super busy. You can take your time and you can be successful. I hope these tips helped you a lot. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.